Hello, welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. Of course, you are just in time for another interesting episode of the Candid Talk. My name is Evan Sokinyi. As usual, Prof is here to help us understand some of these things that are actually taking place in this country and perhaps help us do away with what he calls stupidity and perhaps help sanitize the dirty third world country, as he always calls our country. Welcome to the show. Prof, how are you?
Yes, thank you, Evans.
It's been a while.
Wow.
Yes.
Good.
But here we are.
Moving up and down the country, assessing the temperature.
Definitely.
Yes.
Talking about assessing the temperature, 6 months down the line, have you seen any positive change, something that you can actually point to and say, oh, here, this guy is doing something great?
No. You see, on the contrary, what I've learned from governments, especially in terms of performance, when there's a regime change. If there is something you want to do, you do it from day one. And I think it's in human nature. If you don't address a big problem, and this country had big problems when Ruto took over, they become normal. You get used to them again. When you are outside, you are saying, how can this happen in my country? If you stay 6 months like Ruto has stayed 6 months, you begin to see them from a different perspective. You begin to rationalize. The problems become normal again. And that's why when Kibaki took over, pop, CDF, pop, free primary education. And the little that Uhuru and the Ruto did in terms of digital, in terms of what, they just tap, despite ICC, they hit the road running. 6 months after Ruto took office, took power, or won the election, I'm not seeing anything. I'm only seeing confusion. Yeah, there's only confusion, and there is too much politics. Instead of letting the opposition do their politics if they want, they are the ones doing more politics than the opposition.
And that's what I'm wondering. Actually, 6 months after the elections, for a serious country like ours, can't we stop politicking a bit and then focus on what should actually be delivered to the country? That is what I'm asking.
You see, the president from day one sought to consolidate his power by pacifying certain areas under opposition. Like, you remember, he moved to Northeastern, pop, the blue zone, and all of it, he grabbed the MPs and put them on side. You remember the drama in Parliament about who was supposed to be the official, what do you call them, the minority and the majority. Because according to the numbers, it was Azimio. But because the president, I would want to believe it was the president, had already moved, and a number of Azimio MPs had already come, as early as that, to his side. They were claiming de facto, kind of. And they won the day because the speaker was from their side. And then they have never stopped. They have never stopped getting people to defect. They have never stopped attacking Raila and Uhuru. So instead of focusing on building the nation, they are focusing more on pacifying the country so that everybody is on their side with an eye to 2027. I don't think if you put your eyes on 2027, you'll do much about 2023. Yes.
No, Prof. The president and the current regime, actually, I think they found themselves at the same, more or less the same point that the other side was in the previous years. I saw the other day a report was released on the kind of loan that the government has actually tried to borrow, and Manyora was actually now coming up and telling the media to actually report on the real thing. The other time, it was on the other side, claiming how much the government had borrowed. This time around, he's saying, no, that is not it. Now, that's notwithstanding, we've seen the rallies that Azimio, La Umoja leader Raila Odinga has been having, these kind of rallies, and of course, they call them consultative meetings. Well, the president and his brigade has kind of termed this kind of rallies as some sort of an entrance to work. Do you believe that kind of theory, that any kind of meeting that these people are going to have may hinder the government from delivering what it's on its mandate, that is?
The government does not seem to want to deliver, and the government has not delivered. Instead of delivering, because they know either they can't or they have no intention, they are going into distractions, side shows. by creating artificial enemies from Uhuru and the rest, you know. Because that side successfully used Uhuru to win the election. By lumping all the problems that Kenya had on Uhuru, he became the object of hate. So they reckon they can do the same now to navigate through this turbulence that is their first term. By continuing to paint Uhuru as a person who is standing between them and delivering. I don't think that will work. So this government, if you ask me, should stop politics. In fact, Raila can run around 1-2 months and he gives up. If they are delivering for the people of Kenya, if you are doing everything in your powers to reduce the power of electricity, and we know the power of electricity is up because of the Ngorokos in the system, because of the cartels, remove them. Let power drop. Kenyans will clap.
The president said very well the very first day that he'll put the Bible down.
And everything down.
All the
No, he went down to pick things and then he took them up.
So the Kenyans are still wondering, is the Bible still up?
No, the Bible was down, but as he put the Bible down, he picked things from down and put them up. Put things down. Electricity down. Work on the price of flour and petrol. The government can reduce the price of fuel or petrol, for example, by 40 shillings without feeling the pinch. Let them do those things. Now Raila will go to Kamkunji, there will be nobody. Because now Raila has an audience because people are hungry. People can't take their children to school. People can't treat their loved ones. And now people begin to remember, Allah, Raila promised us a better health care. Here we are watching people die. Today we can't take our children to school. Raila had said, school will be free from preschool, grade 1, all the way to university. Now we have a problem educating our children. Raila said he will give 6,000 shillings. Tangibles he had promised. Here we are, we can't even eat today. So those people will go and listen to Raila. And they could do worse. But I ask the president and the Kenya Council government, leave the opposition alone. Leave them alone. Kenyans will support you, President Ruto. If they see the opposition making unrealistic demands on you, Kenyans will stop them. So long as you are doing something to ease the pain that Kenyans are going through. People are not fools. They will see. If unga is 200 and the president makes it get to 120, you think Kenyans will not see? If electricity is costing what it's costing, it goes down. If some mandarin somewhere want to take the price, the cost of water, charge water charges from 50 cents to 5 shillings per something. I don't know how many percentage, what percentage that is. All these things that are making life unbearable, if you do something about them, if you stop corruption and save enough money to put into public works, to create jobs, to put into social services, to pay bursaries before you get free education, to have medicines in hospital, Raila will go to the Kamkunji, nobody will follow him. Yeah.
Now, Prof, the kind regime has had a problem with they call funders of these rallies that the Azimio La Umoja One Kenya coalition is kind of organizing. And a number of Kenyans have actually wished those things off and said, what does that have to do with the cost of living? I mean, if somebody has decided to fund a rally, then that is his own money. What does that have to do with the government's mandate in order to deliver to the people and perhaps reduce the high cost of living? Some people also do say that perhaps these people are just playing politics and trying to confuse us, yet they're not able to deliver.
What do you mean by funding a rally? What does it cost to have a rally in Jacaranda?
I wonder, but that is what they said.
What is it?
That these rallies are funded by individuals whom they know, cartels.
I know these people. Funding these things would be, even people like us, perhaps, people will be giving us money to talk about these things. That's what funding would be. I've not come across a person in my industry. This is my industry. This is my area. Who says, well, let's go and have a drink. I've been given something by Kenyatta. I've not come across one. And organizing a rally does not take money. Those campaign rallies are difficult and expensive because you move across the country and there are logistical issues. But this one of Jacaranda and Kamkunji, you just tell Kenyans, and because they are hungry. They are hungry and angry, they go to Kamkunji.
And they're not even paid?
Who pays them? We would know. When people are paid during campaign rallies, didn't we see? Didn't we see people fighting over the 2 million the president had given somewhere? Was it in somewhere in Ukambani? Didn't we hear there were some money people were fighting for at Kondele? And I'm not saying one side. Both sides give money. Are they not captured by cameras when they are giving money? You think you can give money to a crowd and cameras can't capture? During the campaign, both sides were giving money. And this was caught on camera. So this one is just, so it's nothing about funding.
So do you buy that kind of...
No, I don't.
These are mere sideshows.
You better use the word support than funding. So funding comes out cheaply. But you think it will resonate with the people. I want to disappoint them. It will not. No. People don't believe that nonsense of funding. Nobody will believe that.
So you think this time around they're not going to succeed in diverting people's attention from what they're...
No, it's not easy. The pangs of hunger cannot be stopped by pointing at Uhuru. No. Because you told people the moment Uhuru leaves, kila kitu iko sawa. You cannot deceive the same people. I have heard that side saying, you can deceive some people sometimes, but you cannot deceive all the people all the time. And they are doing exactly that. They told people the problem was not Ukraine. Food is up because of the handshake. Now, Uhuru is not there, Raila is not there. You are in charge. You can't now turn around and say Ukraine. You can't turn around and say, oh, no, now deal with it. And you should not listen to IMF, because if the president wasn't, I am suspecting, I could be wrong, that the president is listening too much to IMF and World Bank. If he wasn't doing that, he will work out some way to make Unga go down. Uhuru took it to 100, but it was done in a poor way, which means if you do it that way, a few crooks benefit. But it means it is possible. It is possible Unga can retail at 100. You do that and people will not listen to Raila. No, they will not. Because they're hungry. Hungry and angry. Electricity bills are impossible. Hata yangu karibu ikatwe sasa. I'm telling you, my bill I have not paid for 2 months. I think anytime, power don't come. But they're about to disconnect mine. It's too high. I wish I was on prepaid.
Stop these diversionary sideshows and focus on delivering your mandate to Kenyans. Now that is the message from Professor Herman Manyora here. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stop this conversation at that point, but do not fail to subscribe to our channel here at Herman Manyora, and of course comment down there so that we can know what you think about what is actually taking place in this country. And of course we shall endeavor to read those SMSs and the comments, that is, and of course reply to them accordingly. Thank you so much. My name is Evans Okinyi.